Welcome back, troglodytes, to the Trogly's Guitar Show. Today we have a beautiful 1982 Blonde Beauty Custom. Now this one, the official color is called Antique Natural. That means it had a slightly tinted finish to it when it was brand new, but obviously it has aged a little bit more. You have beautiful figuring on this maple top, but it has a mahogany back and still has the maple neck. As you can see here, it still is a three-piece maple neck construction. You only have about a year left of maple necks in 82, because it's around 83, 84 when they switched back to mahogany. This example is a perfect blinged out 80s example because it has all of the fancy parts. That means the 7-point adjustment bridge, your Posi-Lock strap locks, which are diamond shaped. These are basically Gibson's answer to a strap lock that could be stock, but they don't actually lock on. It just has this diamond strap to help keep your strap from coming off. Another cool feature that this one has is the flip out winding tuners. These are to make it easier to do string changes. These are really handy if you don't have a electronic speed winder on you, but other than that, they're just kind of flashy. And the other thing that makes this a beautiful 80s custom is the Shaw PAF humbuckers. These are really nice sounding pickups, and it's definitely worth getting a set of these. So this guitar is in very good condition. You just have very light fret wear. The neck is a beautiful 60s profile, and this one weighs 11 pounds 3 ounces. So without any further ado, let's hear how she sounds. The cleans will be running through a Gibson Super Gold Tone GA30RV. The dirty tones come from a Marshall JMP 1C. This guitar weighs 11 pounds, 2.7 ounces. If you haven't tried a 70s or 80s Gibson custom yet, definitely do. I know natural is a pretty desirable color next to like silver burst. I know some tobacco sunburst looks really cool. Pretty much any 70s or 80s custom is awesome. I particularly like these 80s ones when they have all the fancy stuff like the Posi-Lock strap buttons, 7-point adjustment bridge. Once again, you have to have the Shaws. That's the best part. And crank winding tuners. The face of the headstock has a very light yellowing to the lacquer. I mean, it's very even throughout. Now you're going to see there is one flaw right here. There is a very tiny touch-up. I'm guessing the case came down and hit it one day or something like that. But that's pretty much the worst blemish on this guitar. It's not always noticeable. When you're playing the guitar, you don't see it too much, but it is there. The neck is straight, the truss rod works just fine, and again you have your cool flip out winding tuners here. The original nut is still present on this guitar, and you have an ebony fretboard. The frets do show some very minor wear, very small divots, but like not the kind that you really have to worry about. It's definitely still playable and maintains a very nice condition overall. Now the top on this one, the color stamp that's in here says Antique Natural. That means this kind of had a slightly yellowed hue to it, brand new, but it's obviously aged a little bit more. But you have nice beautiful figuring into this top, and this one has like even a more sandy vibe to it. It's kind of like got some grit in the top, I want to say. It's kind of hard to explain, really. All right, we'll get my spotlight on it here. There's really not a lot wrong with this guitar. You've got a few choice scratches just from light playing, but this guitar really is in excellent shape. I would say it's collector's grade. You've got a few small light dings in the top, but nothing really major. This is a beautiful 3-piece maple top, it appears to be. And once again, beautiful figuring to it, as you can see here. Natural customs are kind of hard to do justice for. You can see you've got a small little ding right there. Original speed knobs, all the good stuff on this one. Back of the headstock here, serial number 81 18 25 23, made in USA. So that makes this a Nashville made one. And condition wise, you're pretty good. You've got a few little dings right here. They're kind of hard to see, but they are there. You still do have the 3-piece maple neck on this one though. There's no major dings or gouges into the neck. You just kind of got some figuring to the wood that you might think is a ding, but the neck is very clean. Just, there might be a trace amount of wear, like right here you got a very, very tiny little ding. Doesn't even show up, but overall, excellent shape. The back of the guitar here, you do have some very light buckle worming marks. You can see them there as they kind of show up, but they're mainly just right in the middle there. This guitar really is in excellent shape for how old it is. It's a very nice player, and you've got a lot of sheen to the back of this guitar as well, but definitely there is some light wear to the back. The electronics all look good, untouched. Everything's good on this example. Take a look at the sides here. Again, just a very clean example. It's a little boring to, do these clean examples, but you got a little bit of a ding there. Just very trace amounts of wear on this one. Take a look under blacklight here. Here's where you can really see that touch up, that somebody took like one of those black marker pens to touch it up. I almost kind of wish they just would have left it be a ding, but as I said, it's not too incredibly noticeable. This guitar went through 2 hands before it came to me, and none of them even really saw that. Onto the body of the guitar, here you can really see the beautiful wood grain that this guitar has. Very wave-like. And once you get this thing in person, that's when you can really tell that there's kind of a grit to the finish. Like, it kind of looks like it's spotty in a way, in a good way, not a bad way. I mean, this guitar really is beautiful. You can see the original speed knobs there. Back of the headstock here, you can see that light finish wear I was talking about at the top. Got a small little finish chip there as well, and a small ding. But overall, I mean, it's a clean guitar. There is no volute on this one. Those ended kind of, I believe, mid-81, but you do still have the 3-piece maple neck. I think you've got a year left of those until they switch back to mahogany. But you can see there's that tiny ding I was talking about earlier. But overall, very clean guitar. Back of the guitar, once again, you've got some very minor buckle worming marks, but nothing that really destroys the back on this one. I would definitely say it's a clean example. Here, we'll take a look around the sides. Again, there is a little bit of trace wear here and there. Small little dings like that one. But I would say the worst thing about this example is the gold hardware being worn off and the touch-up on the face of the headstock from the ding. But just light wear and tear. Another area of wear I wanted to demonstrate is the clear coat is a little bit worn on this edge of the binding, but overall nothing too bad. This guitar comes in a Generation 3 chainsaw case, which is error correct and probably what it originally came in. However, this is not the original case to this guitar. All 3 latches are still present and functioning. These are the metal latches. Some people prefer these. I really didn't mind the plastic latches of the Gen 1s and 2s, but Gen 3's got the metal latches. What's really nice about this example is it still has the lid ribbon. But the only thing wrong with this one is it's missing the lid right here that goes over that to give you a compartment of some sort. But if you can live without that, I mean, if you don't need a strap in there or anything, it's definitely a nice case. Protects the guitar well. Lots of nice padding, no funky pet smells or odors. Nothing like that. I mean, these Gen 3 cases, the only bad thing about them is they're really bulky. So if you're a collector, it takes up a lot of space having all these cases. That's why I personally prefer the Gen 1s and 2s, because they're about half as thick. So, if you haven't tried a 70s or 80s Gibson Custom yet, definitely do. I know natural is a pretty desirable color next to like silver burst. Pretty much any 70s or 80s Custom is awesome. I particularly like these 80s ones when they have all the fancy stuff like the Posi-Lock Strap Buttons, 7-point adjustment bridge. Once again, you have to have the Tim Shaws. That's the best part. And crank winding tuners. So I definitely highly suggest trying one of these out. If you think you might be interested in this 1982 Gibson Les Paul Custom, feel free to contact me on my Facebook page, facebook.com/Troglys, Troglys. Thank you, Troglodytes, for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you tomorrow on the next episode. Take care.